These mythical weapons are packed with magical powers that can do everything from slaying immortals to capturing demons. Dive into the world of Chinese mythology with these 13 powerful mythical weapons. Let's look at the wildest legends and the most epic battles. Tengkongjian, the Airborne Sword. Imagine a super cool sword from ancient Chinese stories called the Tengkongjian, or the Airborne Sword. This wasn't just any sword, it was a legendary weapon of Zhuan Shu, who was like a superhero emperor from the myths. The cool part? This sword literally came down from the sky during a time when China was facing attacks from outsiders. The name Tengkong itself means it's something that flies or is airborne, which adds to its mystique. It's like the sword chose the moment to appear, making it extra special and powerful. Wanyahu, the pot of 10,000 crows. Now let's talk about the Wanyahu, which translates to the pot of 10,000 crows. This is another wild item from Chinese legends. It's a pot that could unleash 10,000 fiery crows. Yes, you read that right, crows made of fire. These weren't ordinary birds. They were magical and could burn down an entire city if they were let loose. The pot was often mentioned alongside a phrase, Wanli Qi Yunyan, which means 10,000 miles of smoke. Just imagine the destruction, a swarm of fiery crows flying out, leaving behind a trail of smoke and flames that could engulf cities. It's like having a super weapon in the shape of a pot. Wuhu Qiqinshan, the 5 fires fan of 7 avians. Picture a fan, but not just any fan. This is the Wuhu Qiqinshan, or the 5 fires fan of 7 avians, which sounds like something straight out of a superhero movie. It's a legendary fan with powers related to fire and was first owned by a powerful figure named Qingku Daode Zhenjun. Later, he passed it on to his student, Yang Ren. What makes this fan epic is its ability to set enemies on fire with just a single wave. Imagine being so powerful that all you have to do is flap a fan, and boom, your enemies are toast. This isn't just any old piece of mythology. It's a story about a weapon of immense power and the relationship between a master and his disciple. The fan, with its connection to both fire and birds, symbolizes something much bigger than just a tool for battle. It's about the transfer of knowledge, power, and responsibility from one generation to the next. Wu's Bi, the 5 colors brush. Let's dive into the tale of the Wu's Bi, or the 5 colors brush. This story is about a guy named Lian Guang, who was just a simple herbalist until he got his hands on a magical brush given to him by an immortal being. This wasn't your average paintbrush. Whatever Lian Guang drew with it would come to life. Imagine drawing a picture of a cake and then being able to eat it. That's the kind of magic we're talking about. However, things took a turn for the worse for Lian Guang. People started calling him a sorcerer, and he ended up in jail because of the brush's powers. But in a twist fit for a movie, he escapes prison by painting a giant bird and flying away on it. There's a bit of sadness to the story too. The immortal who gave Lian the brush saw how much trouble it caused and decided to take it back, reflecting on how what was meant to be a gift turned into a curse. This story isn't just about magic and adventure. It's a cautionary tale about how power and gifts can have unintended consequences. Xiangyao Baozhang, the Demon Subduing Rod. This isn't just any stick. It's a badass magical weapon from Chinese stories, famous for being the go-to gear of Sha Wujing. Sha Wujing isn't just some random dude. He's one of the main followers of Tang Sanzang, the hero in many adventures to the west. If you've seen Chinese TV shows or movies about these tales, you've probably noticed this weapon. It's not just a simple rod. This thing is made of iron, has cool designs carved into it, and is topped off with a sharp crescent blade that makes it look even more awesome. Basically, it's what Sha Wujing uses to beat down demons and protect his crew. It's like the ultimate combination of a walking stick and a superhero's weapon, all rolled into one. Yangzi Yu Jingping, the Jade Suet Bottle. This thing is way more than just a pretty vase. It's a magical weapon that used to belong to the Goldhorn demon. Originally, it was just Laozi's water bottle. Yeah, that Laozi, the famous Chinese philosopher. But it's not for drinking water. This bottle has the power to snatch up anyone it's aimed at and turn them into goo. Yep, you heard that right. It captures people and then melts them down. Even Sun Wukong, the Monkey King and a major badass in Chinese mythology, found this bottle to be a real pain to deal with. So if you ever hear about the Jade Suet bottle in a story, know it's not something you'd want to mess with. It's like the ultimate trap, disguised as something as innocent-looking as a bottle, Yin-Yang Jin, the mirror of yin and yang. Imagine a mirror, but it's not for checking out your reflection. This is the Yin-Yang Jin, or the mirror of yin and yang, and it's basically a magic relic from Mount Kunlun. This isn't your everyday mirror. It has two sides with powers straight out of a fantasy novel. The yang side has the incredible ability to bring the dead back to life. Imagine losing your pet goldfish, then using this mirror to get it swimming again. On the flip side, the yin part can do something way darker. It can end a being's life instantly. So, in one hand, you've got the power to give life, and in the other, the power to take it away. It's like having the ultimate power switch for life and death, making this mirror a seriously powerful and spooky treasure. Zhangba Shamao, the 8-feet Serpent Lance. Now let's shift gears to something more battle-ready. Meet the Zhangba Shamao, or the 8-feet Serpent Lance. This weapon was the pride and joy of Zhang Fei, a hardcore warrior from the Three Kingdoms period. This isn't just any spear, it's a legendary lance that's as long as an NBA player is tall. Plus, it's got a name that sounds like it belongs to a monster because it's as fierce and intimidating as a giant serpent. Zhang Fei wasn't someone you'd want to mess with, and when he was wielding this massive lance, he was practically unstoppable on the battlefield. It's like this lance was an extension of his own fearsome personality, making him even more of a legend in Chinese history. Zhangxian Fei Dao, the Immortal slaying flying dagger. This weapon is actually a tiny person living inside a gourd. Yeah, you heard that right. A little humanoid warrior chilling in a gourd until it's time to fight. When someone uses this weapon, the tiny warrior pops out and can chop off an enemy's head in no time flat. But that's not all. This gourd isn't just a cozy home for the miniature fighter. It also traps the souls of the people it defeats, making sure they can't come back to bother anyone ever again. This weapon is super famous in the story Investiture of the Gods for being the end of Da Ji, who was pretty much the big bad of the whole saga. Imagine having something so small yet so powerful that it could take down the main villain. That's the Zhangxian Fei Dao for you, a small package with a massive punch. Zhao Yao Jing, the demon revealing mirror. This isn't just any mirror, it's a magical artifact that's all about exposing the truth, specifically the true nature of demons. Featured in the classic tale Journey to the West, this mirror was owned by a character known as the pagoda-bearing heavenly king Li Jing. Whenever there was a doubt if someone was actually a demon in disguise, this mirror was the ultimate test because it showed everyone's real form. Fast forward to today, and the idea of the Zhao Yao Jing has become a popular concept in Chinese supernatural movies. It represents the idea that no matter how well a demon hides among humans, there's always a way to reveal its true identity. It's like having a lie detector test, but for finding out if someone's a supernatural creature. The Zhao Yao Jing is more than just a mirror. It's a symbol of truth and revelation in a world filled with mysteries and disguises. Jinan Che, the south-pointing chariot. Imagine having a car that always tells you where south is, even without GPS. That's what the Jinan Che, or the south-pointing chariot, was all about. Created by the legendary Chinese Emperor Huangdi, this wasn't just any old chariot. Huangdi was up against Qi Yu, a tough opponent who could create magical fogs, making it impossible to know which way was which. The south-pointing chariot was Huangdi's answer to never getting lost in those fogs. It always pointed south, no matter where it was, helping Huangdi's troops navigate through the trickiest situations without getting turned around. Think about it like the ancient version of a compass, but way cooler because it was a whole chariot designed with this mind-blowing tech that didn't even need a compass needle. This chariot wasn't just a ride, it was a game-changer in battles, making sure Huangdi and his men could always find their way. Zhuxian Jianzhen, the Immortal killing sword array. This wasn't just a fancy weapon, it was a whole setup of 4 magical swords creating a deadly trap that could take out anything. Yes, even gods and immortals. Created by Tongtian Zhaozhu, a major player in Chinese mythology, this array was set up during a huge showdown with the Zhou army. Imagine walking into a field and suddenly being surrounded by invisible forces that could end you in a heartbeat. That's what stepping into the Immortal killing sword array was like. It was like the ultimate defense system, ensuring that no enemy, no matter how powerful, could get through without facing serious consequences. This wasn't just about physical swords swinging around. It was about using magic and strategy to create an unbeatable barrier. The idea that you could set up something so powerful it could take down beings from legends is pretty wild, making the Zhuxian Jianzhen one of the most fearsome and respected weapons in all of mythology. Zijin Hong Hulu, the purple gold red gourd. So there's this super cool item called the Zijin Hong Hulu, or the purple gold red gourd. It's not just any gourd. This one's straight out of a legend and was once used by the Silverhorn demon. Originally, it belonged to Laozi, a big name in Chinese philosophy, who used it to hold elixirs. But here's where it gets wild. This gourd can trap people inside it. And once they're in, it turns them into goo. Yeah, you heard that right. Goo. This is the same kind of deal as the Jade suet bottle, making it another one of those things you wouldn't want to mess with. Even the Monkey King, who's pretty much the superhero of Chinese myths, found this gourd to be a tough challenge. Imagine having something so powerful that it can just suck up bad guys and melt them down. That's the Zijin Hong Hulu for you, a legendary gadget with some seriously spooky powers. That wraps up our epic journey through Chinese mythology's most powerful and magical weapons. If you enjoyed this mythical adventure, don't forget to like, subscribe, and drop a comment with your favorite weapon. Catch you in the next legendary tale.